So, in my observation of the 32 years and the looks upon relationship and life, the studies in scientific studies is that people need, I believe it's Maslow's theory of what people needed. And to me, what I had discovered at my sufferings and my belief and my understanding is that usually people either get one thing or another. It's either tons of money or real, actual, true love. So, real, actual, true love meaning that the sexual desires, the relationship, the everything else, and the family members and friends, but it might not be the high-ranking rich status quo of the high life, as in living the high rich life. So, I mean, living the high rich life, there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people that gossip behind people's backs. There's always going to be fake friends. There's always going to be someone that leeches off a person, as in terms of takes someone's money the whole time, or as in terms of getting a lot of benefits from the supposed rich person. And the supposed rich person often pays for these supposed friends because they don't have real true love. So, I mean, it's not a trade-off, but it's giving back in return and receiving, and also giving back in return and receiving. So that just seems to be the understanding of that part, in terms of it's not buying friendship, but it's similar to buying company. So people that don't have real, actual, true love or real, actual friends are usually, and majority, founded as the rich, high life people. And the other thing I want to talk about is actually the people that don't have much money but seem to have true love. And the true love is the struggles of being poor, and the struggles of not having enough, and the struggle of real, actual niceness and kindness that people may have for each other, which is the obvious of sticking together as a family and growing the family bigger and more family rounded and concerned. And in terms of, you can even look at it as in terms of farmland animals that are constantly with their family. So, I mean, this is symbolically speaking like the herd and the wolf pack and everything else. So, this is why people either get one or the other. And in my case, it's obvious that I don't get either or. So, I don't have my actual home, my actual property to call my home, or my house to actually be living fine with my own place, because I don't. And then I don't have a relationship where it's an amazing relationship, because it is obviously expired, in terms of it was an amazing relationship lasting perhaps only up to 2 years. And after 2 years, it just seemed that it had gone to a downslope of the relationship. So that is why it had perhaps woken me up into a major night terror nightmare, I would call it, as in terms of the 7 years mark and the engagement that had awoken me up in the most vicious way. And in terms of finding the right person and the proper person, as I say, your other half, and who's your other half if it's not your divine partner, and who's your other half if it's not someone on the non-predominant hand, the hand that you don't use. Or what if it is a predominant hand, and you're going to say that you're not in charge of your own body, so obviously it's going to have to be the non-predominant hand. And this is why in my life in my own knowledge. It could be different for other people, but I'm usually towards the left side of myself, and the right side is usually perhaps the divine partner, which is a clue that he is right-handed. And it so happens that the relationship I'm in now is a person that's left-handed. So I've gathered up so many things to find out that it is not truly my divine partner that I'm with, but at this point in stage, there is no exit to anywhere else. So if there's no exit to anywhere else, it's obvious that it's looking like a dead end. And obviously, it could be possibly too challenging to have will, faith, and love, and everything else, because it's starting to look like there isn't. And in terms of committing something illegal in any USA home, obviously the police is going to break down the door, and what breaks if not the doorknob? So in terms of the doorknob being in the other conversations that you might have heard in the other videos, is obviously, if it's not your knob, meaning if it's not the dick or the vagina that fits properly to secure the home and the unit, and the home is supposed to be your protected shield. For example, your body is a home to your soul. For example, a shell is a home to a hermit crab, and so forth. So, I mean, if it doesn't fit, obviously something's going loose, something's breaking, or something's gonna attack it. So, obviously, this breaks home security and things like that. So, this might be where people can find themselves if they do truly awaken. That if you're not with your real partner, there might be some dangerous activity going on, and or safety concerns and safety issues. So this is why there hasn't been anything to prove to me that, one, I should stay in the relationship, two, that I have a place to go. So in this circumstance is there is not true love, and there is not a financial situation or a financial status that I can actually lean on. So in this circumstance, there is possibly zero way out. And how I found myself here, maybe a wrong turn, maybe a wrong leap, maybe a wrong path. But why is it that every job that I go to, I don't get paid the proper amount? And why is it that everything I do, I don't get paid the proper amount? So it's almost like someone in some other world or some other dimension is also relying on my financial needs. And then it also seems that someone is perhaps with my divine partner, making it impossible to get either path. So let's say there's two doors, two exits, one at the beginning of the house and one down the corridor of the house. And these two exits are supposedly closed. So if the two exits are supposedly closed and you can't climb out the window, because let's say you're on the top story or you're somewhere else and the house is too high for you to climb out, obviously it's a dead end in terms of you cannot leave the property to go get food, meal, or anything else, making it not an option to survive. For example, if you don't get love and you don't get money. So first, if you don't get love, true love, you need money so you can go and get a life and a place somewhere and another love somewhere. And if you get real love, then money wouldn't be that important, would it? Because you can always build something with love. You can always make something with love. But if you don't have real love, and then you don't have the financial necessities to go out and get a home or get something like a life, as in terms of getting a new home and start fresh somewhere, then obviously it's a locked house and there's no exit. So what would be the exit? The exit would possibly be leaving your body as a soul through a wall and or another dimension. So that would be the only option in this black space, white wall, and blue exit. So if the supposed husband is in the black space and the money is in the blue space, obviously the blue and black space is closed. So I would need to literally find a way to walk through the wall to exit to the supposed white alien or the moon or somewhere else. Because the map since the beginning in 1991 and the possible exits are just those 3 exits. And I wasn't granted that path to the future to literally be with Brian to walk through walls. So if I got that path, most likely I would get the path to the white aliens and or to the moon. So I wasn't given any of those paths, and it's definitely not my fault. I didn't take a wrong turn because he was glowing pink, and when did I fear the pink light? Which was never. I always went to the pink light as if it was candy chips that left trails. So someone literally pressed a fuck you button on top of my ceiling as if I was some sort of computer and had me walk back to the bathroom as a robot ever since. So I've pretty much been a robot to any woman or any person that set foot forth in my life, making it impossible now as the train pretty much fell off of the track.